The hidden dangers of emotionally unhealthy spirituality. Ever feel like your spiritual path is making you more anxious, not less? You're not alone. Many people unknowingly engage in practices that, while seemingly spiritual, actually damage their emotional well-being. Let's uncover the truth about emotionally unhealthy spirituality and how to cultivate a truly nourishing spiritual life. Emotionally unhealthy spirituality is a form of spiritual practice that, instead of fostering peace and growth, negatively impacts your emotional and psychological health. It's spirituality that leaves you feeling drained, anxious, and disconnected from yourself and others. It often manifests as a rigid adherence to rules and legalistic interpretations of spiritual teachings. The focus shifts from genuine inner transformation to outward conformity, creating a breeding ground for fear and self-doubt. This type of spirituality often discourages the expression of emotions, deeming them unspiritual or negative. It promotes a false sense of perfection, demanding that individuals present an idealized version of themselves, masking their true struggles and imperfections. The consequences of engaging in emotionally unhealthy spirituality can be profound and far-reaching. It's not just about feeling a little down, it can significantly impact your mental and emotional health. Increased anxiety and stress are common, stemming from the constant pressure to conform to rigid expectations and perform flawlessly. The fear of judgment and punishment looms large, creating a perpetual state of unease. Depression and hopelessness can arise from the inability to meet unrealistic standards and the constant self-criticism that follows. The joy and peace that spirituality should offer are replaced by a sense of inadequacy and despair. Burnout and exhaustion are also frequent outcomes, resulting from the relentless striving and lack of self-care. Individuals become so focused on external validation that they neglect their own needs and well-being. Relationships suffer as emotional unavailability becomes a hallmark of this type of spirituality. The suppression of emotions and the lack of authenticity make it difficult to form genuine connections with others. The view of God or the spiritual path itself becomes distorted, often portraying a judgmental and demanding deity. This can lead to feelings of resentment, anger, and disillusionment with spirituality altogether. Ultimately, emotionally unhealthy spirituality leads to spiritual stagnation, hindering growth and evolution. The focus on external rules and fear-based motivation prevents individuals from experiencing the true transformative power of spirituality. Emotionally unhealthy spirituality doesn't always announce itself with flashing lights. It often creeps in subtly, disguised as piety or devotion. Here are some common manifestations to watch out for. Legalism is a key indicator, characterized by a strict and often inflexible adherence to rules and regulations. The underlying principles and spirit of the teachings are often overlooked in favor of blind obedience. Perfectionism is another red flag, marked by unrealistic expectations of oneself and others. Mistakes are seen as failures, and there's a constant striving for an unattainable ideal. Spiritual bypassing is a deceptive tactic where spiritual concepts are used to avoid dealing with painful emotions. Instead of confronting difficult feelings, individuals attempt to transcend them prematurely, leading to unresolved issues. Toxic positivity is the insistence on positive thinking even in the face of genuine suffering. It invalidates the experiences of others and prevents authentic emotional processing. Judgmental attitudes towards those who don't conform to the same spiritual practices are also common. This creates division and fosters a sense of superiority, undermining the principles of compassion and understanding. A lack of empathy, or difficulty understanding and relating to the experiences of others, is another sign. The focus on self-righteousness can blind individuals to the struggles and perspectives of those around them. Understanding the root causes of emotionally unhealthy spirituality is crucial for breaking free from its grip. It's rarely a conscious choice. Often, it stems from deeply ingrained patterns and experiences. Unhealthy family dynamics can play a significant role, with learned patterns of emotional suppression or control being carried into spiritual practices. These patterns can create a predisposition towards rigid and fear-based approaches. Past trauma can also contribute, with spirituality being used as a coping mechanism without addressing the underlying wounds. This can lead to a reliance on spiritual practices to numb or avoid painful emotions. Societal pressures to conform to cultural or religious norms can also fuel emotionally unhealthy spirituality. The desire to fit in and be accepted can override individual needs and authentic expression. Flawed theological interpretations, or misunderstandings and misapplications of religious teachings, can also be a source. Taking scripture or doctrines out of context can lead to distorted views of God and spirituality. A lack of critical thinking, or accepting spiritual teachings without questioning or discernment, can also contribute. Blind faith without intellectual engagement can make individuals vulnerable to manipulation and harmful practices. The good news is that it's possible to heal from emotionally unhealthy spirituality and cultivate a truly nourishing spiritual life. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge ingrained beliefs. Seeking therapy or counseling can be invaluable in addressing underlying emotional issues and developing healthy coping mechanisms. A therapist can provide a safe space to explore past trauma and develop strategies for emotional regulation. Practicing self-compassion is essential for breaking free from self-criticism and perfectionism. Treating oneself with kindness and understanding, especially during times of struggle, is crucial for emotional healing. Engaging in critical thinking is vital for questioning and evaluating spiritual beliefs. Don't be afraid to challenge assumptions and seek out diverse perspectives. Finding supportive communities is also important. Connecting with others who promote healthy spirituality can provide encouragement, validation, and a sense of belonging. Embracing authenticity is key to living a genuine and fulfilling spiritual life. Being honest about one's struggles and imperfections allows for vulnerability and connection. So, how do you actively move towards a healthier spiritual path? It's about making conscious choices and cultivating new habits. Start by examining your current spiritual practices. Are they driven by fear or love? Do they leave you feeling energized or drained? Challenge rigid rules and legalistic interpretations. Seek to understand the underlying principles and spirit of the teachings. Allow yourself to feel your emotions, even the uncomfortable ones. Don't try to suppress or bypass them. Practice self-care and prioritize your well-being. Remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. Connect with others who are on a similar journey. Share your experiences and support each other. Healthy spirituality is not about perfection, it's about growth. It's about embracing your imperfections and learning from your mistakes. It's about connecting with something larger than yourself in a way that is authentic and meaningful. It's about finding peace, joy, and purpose in your life. It's about cultivating compassion, empathy, and understanding for yourself and others. It's about living a life of love and service. It's about embracing the journey, not just the destination. It's about finding beauty in the present moment. It's about living a life that is both spiritually fulfilling and emotionally healthy. Emotionally unhealthy spirituality can be a subtle but damaging force in our lives. By recognizing its signs, understanding its root causes, and taking proactive steps towards healing, we can cultivate a spiritual life that truly nourishes our well-being. Remember, your spiritual journey should empower you, not diminish you. Ready to break free from emotionally unhealthy patterns and cultivate a truly fulfilling spiritual life? Start by joining any online community where you can connect with others on a similar journey and receive ongoing support. Don't wait any longer to prioritize your emotional and spiritual well-being. Subscribe to the channel for more incredible and informative videos. Thank you for watching.